What I'm gonna do specifically in this video, I want y'all to understand the importance of being able to have a conversation without flirting all the time. So, I mean, you see some of these guys and they're putting out content on, you know, how to smash a girl, how to hook up with her, etc., and it's like, okay, you're building habits around using women for your pleasure. It may seem cool for now, but when you actually are ready to settle down, you realize that, nah, you built a monster that you now have to kill. YouTube or Instagram? YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that. Oh, you already out. Yeah, that's so you cool. Record out, but you be killing it. That's what matters. Hey, say that again. I'm gonna say it right. Mina. Mina. Misha and Mina. Yeah. Cool. Nice to meet you guys. Nice to meet you. Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm actually about to go into the gym right now. Not feeling the best, to be honest. It's like my stomach has been going crazy. I think I had a little bit too much citrus today. Just feeling like bloated, but about to get it nonetheless. Today's leg day, so I definitely have to muster up some level of courage when it comes to it. Legs are like hit or miss when it comes to my hip injury. Again, air quotes arthritis that I've been battling for the last handful of years. You know, some days I should say I feel more stiff than others. But the remedy is always like pushing through, unless the pain, if it's more than stiffness and the pain is just through the roof, it almost feels like a nerve pain. So it's that I have to just kind of chill until the inflammation goes down. But I've really been regulating a lot of that with my diet, just making sure I'm eating a lot of fruits, eating a lot of greens, and just really keeping the diet simplified, which, and the more that you lift, man, you start to get to a point where you just start to see carbs, fats, and proteins, right? And then it's about, you know, healthier carbs, healthier fats, healthier proteins, and then of course you have the micronutrients in between, which are like the nuts, the seeds, and things of that nature. You know, staying away from like certain oils, like seed oils, and just realizing the things that actually cause inflammation on the body, and just the setup, man. Like, there's just so much setup in this Babylonian society, man, where it's like, it's not for your benefit, for the greater good of the humankind. You know, it's how can we get them sick but not necessarily have them sick enough to all die, because that's our profit, but how can we make sure that they are sick enough to need a remedy, to need a cure, or at least treatment, right? Because an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. If you don't got sick people, you don't got patients. I was just watching a video the other day about carrageenan that they put in almost everything, right? The puddings and all that. And thankfully, the way that the Most High has set things up, it's like I've had to eventually transition to dairy free, which not only helps with lessening the inflammation in my body, but also the reactions that I would get. Like, I would always wake up with a stuffy nose and watery eyes, and, you know, eventually I started getting tonsil stones. If you don't know what that is, maybe it's best that you just don't know, especially if you don't experience it. But if you look it up, you may start to realize, I do get this pain in the back of my throat after I finish eating pizzas and things of that nature. Then you flash a light back there and you'll see you've been swallowing tonsil stones for a while. That was actually the nastiest revelation I had. I was like, bro, all this time I'm swallowing these big old stones. Like, I almost... like I'm like, I want to spit right now. But if you do know what they are, then you already know the vibes, right? Man, yeah, they put carrageenan in this in almost everything, especially the oat milks, right? And the seed oils that they put in the oat milks. Like, if you drink milk alternatives, just make sure you're looking at the back to see the sugars, the oils that they put in, the gums that they put in as well. Yeah, some gums are better than others, but yeah, if you could just find one that just says like filtered water and oats, or filtered water and like whatever seed it is, that's gonna be your best bet. Anyways, man, that carrageenan creates so much inflammation in the body, and it's like you have so many people who have arthritis and pain in their joints and hips and all that, and it seems like it's, I don't know if it's just a part of me growing up, but it seems like younger and younger people are having this thing. Like, yeah, man, I got back pain too. And I'm like, man, mine came from a sports injury, you know. Then I also think that coupled with the diet, because yeah, once I started working out, I realized how good my metabolism was, and I was like, I can eat whatever I want. But nah, I'm going with that mentality, man. But anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. I guess this is like the jitters before the workout. But yeah, I always get a little bit nervous before the workout. Anyways, let's get into this workout, y'all. Love y'all, man. Peace.
y'all get some more drinks going on. I sound a whole lot better. Going on, I sound a whole lot better. Still on this motherfucking record. Y'all get some more drinks going on.
Mabelela mane wami sophumelela izwa ngami endonge yethu sinikiwe sobuya kusasa ngamanye amandla izwa imithandazo yabantwana bakho ehlisa umoya wakho wempumelelo izwa imithandazo yabantwana bakho bose sikelela izwa imithandazo yabantwana bakho ehlisa umoya wakho wempumelelo izwa imithandazo yabantwana bakho bose sikelela phumelela Shipambo, jale rubuya ripambo, kambe ritabuya mijango. Ay, masika ya fanyo, kambe ritabuya shipambo, jale rubuya ripambo, kambe ritabuya mijango. Chela. Na na na. Alosikana esililo ay liyo kala nini ngecilo uzozikholela zonke lezono ngoba sihlala kunzima kunjani ngomso oyo awe ingemezi
take them both. How you doing? Good. Wrapping it up, boys. Wrapping it up. In that last video that y'all saw with me in the gym and whatnot, the reason why I made sure to lower the music when it comes to the audio of that is because, like, I want y'all to understand the importance of being able to have a conversation without flirting all the time. If you plan on being a family man, if you plan on, you know, having a wife eventually, and, you know, here's the thing, that's the design, right? Like, that's why we were created, right? To procreate, to be able to execute, you know, the will that God has put in our lives, and he's made us all intricately in a specific way to be able to execute that will, right? And the beauty of it is that, like, no one is you, and no one has the same exact gifts or talents that you do, and even if it's in the same field, you may do something specifically the way that you do it that makes it different from anybody else, right? It's those subtleties and nuances. I know the world tries to make us all carbon copies, but yeah, you know, it's like these things right here. This one's to cover the lens of the actual camera when I take this lens off. This is to cover and protect this lens itself. And then this is to cover the back of that lens. You got all these different things which all have to do with gear, right, when it comes to the camera. However, they all perform their different functions. So if you eventually, right, get into a relationship, even if you don't feel like you want to be in a relationship right now and you end up in one later on, which is usually the case, right? A lot of times you'll see these older people trying to then figure out relationships when they were just in their 20s or 30s talking about how they're good with being single for the rest of their lives, right? Not even realizing that. It's like you're saying that right now, but if you live until 80, you really want to still be alone, right? No one, that's, I think, everyone's biggest fear, and it's manifesting in different ways. No matter what someone says, yeah, it's like some of us will settle and be with someone that we don't want to be with just for fear of being alone, right? So if that's true, which it is, and if that's the case, which most of the time it is, then let's make sure that we are preparing ourselves for that day and that time. Now, if you're just a big flirt right now and you're flirting with everybody, and then say you do meet that amazing girl that turns it off for a little while, right? Because you just want to flirt with her. Well, there comes a point in time in a relationship, right, where things start to kind of get normal to you. That's why they say you need to know how to spice things up, and, you know, open communication is important, etc., etc. But say now that little monster that you created in your singleness starts to build up again, and I'm speaking from experience, that little monster starts to build up again, and you thought the ring was going to be the thing that stopped that. You thought getting married and, you know, I'm serious about this girl, so, you know, I'm going to completely stop all the habits that I built, right? It's like you got to understand how your brain works, right? You create grooves, right? And you get dopamine when you're flirting and you have a banter with someone. Like, it's cool. You know, she's getting cute and snarky, and, you know, you're getting cute and snarky and all of that. Like, it's a vibe for sure. But now you've built this habit around catching a vibe doing that. And then when you and your wife are having issues, when things are tense, when you know, you're maybe overworked and drained and she's overworked and drained, and, you know, you're not having the best of communication, then what, right? Starbucks barista maybe doesn't even notice your ring, and now she's kind of getting flirty and cheeky, right? Because she's building her her own habit of that, and now she's reigniting the thing that you used to have and you used to do all the time. You're having this little cheeky, flirty banter, right? All right, God forbid you have a son or a daughter, right? And they're right there watching you do that, and they think, oh, okay, it's normal to, get cheeky with a complete stranger, even though I got hubby or wife at the house, right? So it's like these are patterns that you gotta really be careful of creating. So in that video, the reason why I left that audio there is so that y'all can see that like it's not a flirtatious thing, right? Like being playful and mature and like having almost like a level of professionalism with your playfulness is one thing. But if I want to flirt with a girl, I'll flirt, and she'll know that I'm flirting. But I'm reserving that for the girl that I just feel like I'm gonna know, right? Because my standards are at a certain point right now with, again, getting into this bad boy right here. Yo, my standards are they're where they need to be because they're in alignment with the Most High. And it's crazy because I'm reading Genesis. It just started from the beginning, man. And it's like as I'm reading it, I'm seeing that there were specifics given from Abraham and Sarah to Isaac and Rebecca, and then passed on to Jacob as well too. I'm like, this is the type of woman that you want to go for, and like be sure to not mess with those women over there, right? The Canaanite women, they're like they on some other stuff. They were wicked in the eyes of Abraham, right? So it's like there are certain standards that were passed down. And again, bro, it's like, man, if I'd known these things, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'd known these things beforehand, man, I probably would have been good right now, you know what I mean? Like chilling in a relationship, marriage, etc., because I would have known what to look for in the past. But not knowing and just kind of operating blindly, right? It creates a different storyline. It's kind of like I don't know what they call those games, I forgot what it's called. Games like Fallout, where the storyline changes based on the decisions that you make. That's very realistic. That's very synonymous to actual life. Yeah, it's like I'm grateful where I'm at though, right? Like I'm here, obviously still young, etc., etc. Young's a mentality, I'd say, as well. Anyways, age in general is a mentality, but the beauty is that like I'm learning these things and I can pass it on to the bromies, you know what I mean? And hopefully this is serving somebody, man. But even if it's one person, but yeah, just move with wisdom, man. Like you don't need to build certain habits around flirting and all this. I mean, you see some of these guys and they're putting out content on, how to smash a girl, how to get with a girl, how to hook up with her, etc., etc. And it's like, okay, you're building habits around using women for your pleasure. It may seem cool for now, but when you actually are ready to settle down, you realize that, nah, you built a monster that you now have to kill, right? You built a Goliath that you now have to fight. Thankfully, we got the Most High who can aid us in that battle and fight our battles for us. Well, I shouldn't even say that. He'll do what he does, right? But you have to still put your shoulder to the plow. You still have to slay the demons. You still have to unlearn the ways that you've patterned in your brain, and that's not easy. So again, it's all lust. But the sooner that you as a man can realize that you don't want to feed something that is insatiable, instead focus on creating joy in your life versus pleasure, life changes, man. So anyways, love y'all. Shalom.
More time, man, better line and trap. Spend like I don't even like my stack. Pistol came on an Irish ferry.